The chaos continues. Real big kale. Kale did real well over here. My pansies are still around. Carrot going to seed. Seeds are almost ready. Nasturtium. Lots of thyme. More kale back there. Got a little lupin coming. Flower garden's mostly done, but I got plenty of kale. A couple of tomatoes, a couple of herbs. Pepper. Tomato. Still have some flowers hanging on. More lupin. I think next year this thing's gonna be loaded with lupin. So for my chaos garden, this one has overwhelmed me. There's just no hope in getting there and doing any sort of management. I'm gonna let it do what it does. Make a lot of kale chips. This is not doing well. It was dehydrated. And definitely worse for the wear. The tomato next to it, though, is doing super well. That's from a cutting. It's a clone, as is that one. Same cutting. Blackberry's doing excellent. It's all new growth. Good horehound. More blackberry back there. This tomato's out of control. Purple bumblebee. And these marigolds are wild. It's about 5.5 feet tall. I have this pepper back here. Last time I checked, it still wasn't setting fruit. Don't know if I'll ever get fruit out of it, to be honest. It's got flowers, so maybe one day. Maybe one day soon. Here I have a little sad Cosmo. Struggling to get up. Tomato struggling to get up. This entire area used to be irrigated by that sprinkler. But after I planted this borage here, none of the water got through. So, learned a pretty big lesson this year. Don't plant borage next to a sprinkler. There's other things in here too. There's a little micro tomato. I think there's some more thyme. Yeah, there's some more thyme right there. But this is another failed chaos experiment where I ended up not getting what I wanted because I didn't really pay close enough attention when I was planting. Still have some poppies hanging on. More marigolds coming. Here's some cosmos that are going to be popping up. Pansies, snapdragons, more kale. Another tomato that has not set fruit. Lots of dill. All my dill is passing. Time to plant more dill is what that means. They have beans kind of everywhere. And again, they're not really producing. I think it's too hot for them. Missed the season by a couple of weeks. This is a Japanese cabbage. I'll have to look it up and put it in the description. Put it in text over the video. But it's really good. Japanese mustard, very delicious. More Cosmo, an eggplant that's hanging on. Pretty good tomato. Very excellent yellow pear tomato. This thing has been producing non-stop. You can just see all that fruit that's coming on this bad boy. Really productive. I love it. There's another tomato. And another tomato with my Dyer's chamomile right next to it. Gotta harvest that. Get it ready for my cousin. Tomatoes, peppers, asters, penstemons, poppies. Really not a lot of change from the last video. Plants are a little bigger. Harvested all my poppies. There's no more poppies. But apologies for not getting it looking real good. I know how you all love to look at my beautiful garden. And then here is another irrigation problem that I reached. Hopefully I fixed. But definitely had irrigation problems coming in. This sprinkler has just been hitting those tomatoes. I've now cut back the tomatoes, so hopefully it's getting through, but pretty much all the water that was destined for here is getting blocked by this absolute jungle of tomato plants. And to be honest, it's okay, because I have so many tomatoes. So many. I have about 5 different plants back here that have now just interwoven with each other. And have made this super tomato. And it's producing non-stop. I have a pepper down here. It looks like it got choked out. I have this long red onion. French Florence red onion. This squash has not produced a single thing. And I think I'm going to cut it. I think I've let it live long enough. There's no squash bugs that I can tell. It's just not producing. So, we'll cut it. These are zucchinis, I believe. And they are producing. Get some zooks out of those at least. Here's an eggplant. Alright. Nothing new here. Letting it all go to seed. Harvesting the seeds. Got a real loud biker back there, huh? I think they're cool. Tomatillo. Tomatoes. This box is getting almost no water. So nothing's looking good. This is Jerusalem artichoke. It's impossible to kill. Hopefully I get a good harvest out of it this year, like I did last year. Another yellow pear tomato. New planting space. Probably put peas there again. Another tomato. Some beets and carrots that need to get harvested. A lot more Dyer's chamomile. Gonna harvest that. Here's some green beans, marigolds, and yarrow. Really pretty. This is my favorite garden bed right here. Here we have our wall. We wanted a wall of sunflowers and zinnias, but it turns out this fence blocks a lot of the sun from hitting the soil right here. So we got a little success, but not a lot. But we did get this really beautiful zinnia. Look at that. Gorgeous. All right. Tree doing good. Here is the pumpkin patch. Let's see if I can get it all in frame. So here, another mistake that I've learned. Don't plant pumpkins, really don't plant any squash next to each other. You're looking at 6 different species, or varieties, I guess, not species, they're all the same species, but 6 different varieties of pumpkin, squash, / cucumber. There's also a green bean and a raspberry plant in there. And everything is just going bonkers. It's all going wild, which is because my compost is right there. Which I knew going into it that pumpkins, squash in general, love compost. So I knew that they would be happy here. That's why I chose this location. But the tenacity of growth was something I severely underestimated. This is just absurd. These leaves are absurd. So, a few pumpkins. I think I got one growing over here we can take a look at. Yeah. There's one that's coming. I think I saw another one over here. Yeah. There's one that's coming. So pumpkins will be on their way. There's also a cucumber in there. I harvested a few cucumbers today. There's a loofah. That right there is a loofah. So I should have organic loofahs here in a bit. This is actually its own squash plant. This is not like the others. This is its own. And I don't know what it is. We'll see what happens. Probably shouldn't have let it grow. I can no longer manage my compost because of this. It is basically inaccessible. My wife has some more squash / cucumbers planted here. Got it climbing up that trellis. And then here, I still haven't fixed it, but it's about half planted. A lot of tomatoes. Got this funky pepper. This is some sort of flower. I forgot the name. I'll look it up. I'll put it over the text. Sage, of course. A few different peppers. These are melons. There it is. There's the melon. It's a orange fruit, I believe. Orange fruited melon. Sweet like a watermelon, but orange like a cantaloupe. Sunflowers. Sage. Green bean forest. Taking over that marigold. Sunflowers. Echinacea. Borage. Sunflowers. Zinnia. Need to do some weeding there. Blueberries have finished for the season. Got some beans. Got a very unhappy eggplant. I think it needs to be fertilized with something. Yeah, that'll do it. That's the tour. That's everything I got.